Okay, today's vibes are gonna be super chocolatey. Chocolate eyes, chocolate blush, chocolate lips. I wanted to use this. And this color right here, y'all are not ready for that to go on. So this is the new, I think this comes out tomorrow. This is the new ColourPop Wild Child palette. You know, honestly, I haven't been that excited by ColourPop lately, but this one kind of does it for me. This kind of feels like the sister to the Going Coconuts palette, just a little bit warmer, and I like it. I like this one. I was debating on whether I should use it, but we're using it because y'all need to get ready for that color. It's gonna blow you away. So I'm using the shade Cocoa, the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. We're just gonna lay down a little bit of this, but on my lid, I'm gonna mix in a little bit of this Color Fix. I'm gonna lay down this base first because these will set and I don't want it to set. So if I mix it in with this base, it's gonna stay nice and tacky. That way we can add shimmers and our mattes on top. So we'll get to this, I'll label it in a second. But for right now, we're just gonna tap this right through here. We're not gonna take it all the way up to the brow bone. We don't want it to be dark towards the brow bone, but we wanna have a nice even layer to about right. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a little spot treatment brush. It's just gonna give us a little more precision. And I'm gonna grab this Danessa Myricks Color Fix, and this is the shade Chocolate. So we're just gonna tap this right onto our lid. And again, you have to remember, this is gonna mix with that other base, so it's not gonna set, and we're gonna be able to layer shimmers on top. Right now, I just look like a feral calico cat. Let's grab our Wild Child palette. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab the darkest color first. And we're just gonna start tapping that kind of in the deepest part of our lid. Just kind of go back and forth. I'm not really worrying about it right through the deepest part of the socket. IG's giving me uploading issues, but don't worry because I'm always filming in between here, so we'll have like a reference. Now I'm gonna grab this shade and we're gonna start to tap that right above. I'm going to be using pretty much all of the mattes in here. That's what's going to happen. So I'm just going to continue to tap that back and forth. Don't worry about this or this. I'm going to show you how to fix that. So I will say that now that I'm going to start switching into the little bit lighter transitioning colors, I'm going to take Sheila. We all know and love her. Believe it or not, she actually got a bath. She's just seen some hard times. And she's just a regular towel. There's nothing special. This isn't a microfiber, it's just a towel, and I'm just going to go back and forth like this. Obviously it's not going to perfectly clean the brush, but it's going to make sure that we don't have anything too dark that might come up here and kind of ruin any transition. All right, now let's grab these two shades. We'll just kind of tap this one and this one together, and this is going to be very similar to the color we already have. Well, I should say the eyeshadow base, that first eyeshadow base. So we'll just kind of tap it over this way. Take your time and tap back and forth. If you take your eyeshadow up too high, I'm going to show you a tip for that. We'll get there in just a second. But for right now, we're just going to tap this back and forth. Okay, so I'm not going to use foundation through here. Foundation can sometimes be too wet. We want to take a very dry concealer. You won't really see me use this one underneath my eyes. It is a little dry, but that means it's perfect for cleaning up underneath here, for cleaning up here. When you have too wet of a concealer and you're trying to clean up certain areas, it's just going to muddle, make everything too wet. So a dry concealer is so useful. So here we have the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I'm just going to take that Sephora 10 once again. So we have the smallest amount on here. You guys can probably see that. Look what I'm going to do. I'm even going to tap it here, and I'm just going to start on my brow bone. So that is the place where we want it to be, where we want the least amount of product. Again, I'm going to wipe that off because we might have gotten eyeshadow. Tap back into the concealer. Tap here to make sure you don't have too much concealer. Always start here and then just kind of tap it over this way. It cut off, but when I'm doing the concealer, it's going to be different than the foundation. The foundation just kind of melts everything together. This, we're actually cleaning and almost reshaping this top part to make sure that we didn't bring that brown eyeshadow up too high. So again, makeup, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be little things that happen. It's really and truly always going to be about knowing how to easily correct those things. Look at that. Just so pretty. Woo! So I'm going to grab this shade. This is the one I grabbed, and I grabbed it on a MAC 242S. and I just kind of press and pull it down. So I'm kind of working it into that base. Remember, it's still going to be a little tacky, so that base is what's going to be grabbing it. I think I might just put it through the center. I might just kind of pop it right through here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of, I mean, look at this. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. I'm honestly speechless. Yeah, let's just pop it right through there. So now I'm just going to grab that very first shade, Feisty, the darkest shade in the palette. I'm just going to grab that one again, and I'm just going to kind of darken right through here. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I'll darken right here. My brush is a prototype, but it's very similar to a MAC 228S. So now I'm going to take this little brush, and I'm just lightly going to feather some of that glitter upwards, just to kind of give us that floating lantern look. We want it to be very concentrated here on the center, but once we go up this way, we can just kind of drag a few pieces just for a little different effect, something different. Okay, so we're going to clean up the side here. I'm going to grab my Sormé liner. I heard that you guys bought the black one. It's sold out, but the brown one's still there. And I don't even have the brown one, but I want the brown one. Okay, now let's do a liner. I'm going to grab this one from House Labs. You guys hear my shoe? That's my shoe on my chair. So now I'm going to grab this and go across here. We can wing it a little bit, but I'm really just kind of pressing it over that glitter. We won't have to be as precise because it's brown and our eyeshadow's brown. And any kind of mistakes will be hidden. Okay, I put on my lashes. Today I'm wearing the MOTDs in the style Omnia. I like these. They're a little bit curly. They got the spice that we need. All right, I just got this yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. This is the new One Size Secure the Blur. Just gonna pop it here on the back of my hand. I don't know how much to use. Let me grab my primer brush. We'll just grab a little bit of that and we'll try it out. So, okay, so I'm seeing some blurring. Feels very light on the skin. I'm kind of seeing how my skin feels after. It's still a little damp. Let's see how it dries down. So we'll just kind of focus this through the center. I don't want to get rid of any of my glow here. I love when that shines through. And I think today we're going to do a little bit of bronzing underneath our foundation. Get ready. Update, it dries down and it feels like it's going to grab makeup. It's one of those that doesn't suck all the moisture out, but you can kind of feel, when you pull your finger across it, it kind of grabs your finger. So I like that. So we're going to do some light bronzing underneath and a little bit of light highlighting. I'm going to grab these. Oh, you guys know I love this one, but I wanted to try this one. This is going to be bronze gold, and I feel like this is going to be really pretty underneath our makeup. So we're going to start with this one. Okay, so we're going to get started. So I love using Gleam because it has light reflecting particles, and once that's underneath your makeup, it's just going to make your skin look so glowing. You're not going to look oily. You're not going to look shiny. It's just going to be so pretty on the skin. So we're just going to go. I'm just going to look a little wild for a second. Remember, we're going to cover this with foundation. So we're just going to go over our normal areas. Just kind of press that in. A lot of times, bronzers or cream contours, they can be very flat under makeup. Again, Gleam will not be flat. So now I'm going to take the shade Opalescence. You guys have seen me use this one a ton. This is one of my favorites. And we'll just kind of pop this on the high points of the face. Remember, foundation is going to cover all this. I don't want you being like, what are you doing, Rose? I already hear y'all. I hear y'all through the... Okay, so I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation SPF 15. I've never used this. I'm very excited. Thank you for sending this over, Bobbi Brown. So I'm going to be using the shade Beige, and I mixed it with Warm Beige. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this foundation through here, and I'm also going to tap it through here, but I'm not going to go on the bronzer. You'll see why in a second. As we start to blend, we kind of want to blend towards this. We don't want to go completely on top. You'll see, just all the squawking. Okay, get ready to see this. I'm not done blending. Don't be looking at that. We're not done. But look how pretty. Okay, so now we're going to start to tap the foundation in. Also, this foundation is beautiful. Notice that I'm kind of avoiding the heavy bronzed area for now. We're not going to leave it that way. That'd be frightening the neighbors. And I like my neighbors. So now I'm going to press this here. Okay, you can kind of see that foundation. Pretty match. We're doing good. Okay, so now that we have it, get ready. Now you're just gonna lightly tap over it. You're still gonna be able to see it, but it's gonna be nice and melted in. So I'm just gonna sit here and do this until it's nice and blended. Always tapping. I've just been sitting here staring at this JLo glow we have going on. We don't even have concealer on. I'm actually really and truly blown away. This looks so good. Even Mama told me it looked good, so yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab my Rare Beauty concealer. I will say always shake these up. I think it even mentions it, but I just wanted to remind you. I'm gonna just use the shade 220C. I'm pretty spicy tan today, so we'll just do a little bit of that there, and a little bit here, through there, chin, just a little bit, just a hair. So now I'm just going to press this in with my angled concealer brush here. This is one of my favorite concealers. It's just so skin-like. Look at that, it just disappears, but gives you amazing coverage. I sound like the commercial, but it is so good. I mean, the proof's right there. Okay, so I really loved the e.l.f. Putty Blush yesterday. Loved it. It was a 10/10, would recommend. So I'm gonna grab the shade Oakland. I'll show it to you. Like a real beauty blogger. Beauty blogging away. Check with my hand like that. There you go. I don't think I've ever done that. I love these. They're just so nice. They melt on so beautifully. So I have it here on my little desk. You'll see in the little tutorial that I film in between. So I'll just kind of warm it up. Just kind of press it there. Let's put some here. A little across there. The sun naturally hits us there, especially when we're extra bronzy like this. And then a little on our chin, and we'll do a little across here today. Okay, so now we'll grab this Anissa Tapered Highlight, and I'll just pounce this in. I love this brush. I love the way it melts blush in. Just kind of push it across there. And look how that just melts in. Love it. So I get asked all the time how I wash these. I wash these just like you would a sponge, just like a beauty sponge, a beauty blender. You just rinse them and you let them air dry. Now we're gonna do our Givenchy powder. I'm back on the Givenchy powder kick. I can't be contained. I love it so much. And we're just gonna press this right underneath here until it all disappears. We're not baking. We don't really have to. If you just take your time and really press it in, you're gonna get even a smoother under eye, never cakey, and it's never gonna crack. Okay, so we're gonna do a chocolate tightline. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Limitless Brown. I just wanted to double check that before I start squawking out names that aren't right. So we'll run this along our waterline, and then I'm gonna start to pull it out this way as well. I wanna keep this very tight. So then we'll grab our House Labs liner again in Whiskey, and we'll just run this along the very bottom part of our lash line. And this is basically tight lining. You just want to make sure you get all the way up to the lash line. And sometimes it's even easier to come from above and just kind of tap it. Again, this is where this dry concealer comes in. I'm not going to have to set it. It's going to completely dry. I'm actually going to take it underneath here, kind of make sure that's extremely sharp, and then we can just clean up underneath here if any grayness has happened, and we won't disturb anything because it's so dry. I'm telling you, this concealer really helps me along with my makeup. All right, guys, I want to use these Rhinestones. They're all haphazard in here. There was an incident and they fell out all on the floor, and when I tell you, my Christianity has never been questioned. When all these fell on the floor, it was questioned. We were wondering what was happening. There was some squawking. Okay, so I just want to use one, and I just want to use it underneath here. I think that'll be kind of cool. I don't want to mess any of this up, but these are very bronzy toned. This is the Old Money collection, so I gotta pick two out that are similar. I should have seen the spice. House of Lashes glue. Just pop a little bit of that right underneath your lashes. I'm kind of just going right in the center of my eye. That looks about right. This is also from Get Stoned, the little applicator. So we'll just pick it up. Boom, it's picked up. There we go. So I'm going to grab this ColourPop Lippy Stick. This is from the Wild Child collection as well. This is in the shade Oh Behave. And I'm just going to throw it on. Ooh, that's pretty. It's gonna have a little bit of shine too. And then I have my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil. We're gonna use Limitless Brown again. But I'm gonna do that, grab this, and then I'm just gonna start to work this into the lipstick. If I ever disappear for a little amount of time on here, you can best believe that there's a cat involved and I'm doing something for the cat. Okay, so the inner corner I saw the most was yellow. Blue was a close second, but I feel like yellow will be really cool with this. You guys picked it. I'm so excited. You guys have good taste. So this is the KVD Super Brow, but you can use these for just about anything. This is the shade Daffodil, and I'm gonna grab this Rare Beauty brush, and I'm just gonna grab the smallest amount of this. And I'm just gonna start by kind of tapping it in here. That's cool. All right, so I just tapped it and blended it a little bit more, and here we are. I like our trend that we started. That's it for today. Let me get the rest of my content. I'll post all the makeup details. Ooh, look at that gleam shining through, the opalescence. It's highlighter, but with no texture. I love you guys, and I'll post all the details in just a little while. Stay tuned.